Hi, my name is Julie Coryell, and I have been here at Pantano with my family for 5 years, and I have been leading worship here at Pantano for 4 years. Worship has always been incredibly important to me, whether I'm leading worship or whether I'm just singing worship at home, in the shower, in the car. I love to play worship music in the car with our family. There's nothing more I love than to hear my children singing worship at home or telling someone else about how this song has helped them. This year, in the end of February, I had the worst headache I've ever had. And I've struggled with migraines for a few years and thought it was just a migraine. I kind of did all my migraine tricks and meds and sleeping in a dark room, ice pack on the head, and nothing helped at all. So a couple days later, talked to my doctor and he was like, get to the ER now. They did a CT scan, originally told me it came back clean, did an eye ultrasound because I was having this intense extreme pressure behind my eyes. I knew something was really wrong. I just did not feel right. I kind of felt like I was floating in outer space. I just felt just out of touch with reality, really. As we were preparing to leave the hospital, the doctor came running back in to say he found a mass at the base of your brain. I remember kind of seeing out of the corner of my eye, my husband Chris, and his eyes just get bigger. And I knew immediately that he was worried. And funny enough, I just had such a peace, through everything. The doctor had said, we do not believe it's cancerous. It's right off on your pituitary. It's relatively small, but you will need to see a neurosurgeon and it will need to come out. Met with the neurosurgeon, he ordered an MRI. The MRI came back and actually showed that not only was my tumor not small, it was twice the size of what they thought it was, but also it had bled. And in the bleeding, that hemorrhagic part is what actually sent me to the ER. I remember the neurosurgeon saying, we usually don't see anyone with these bleeding tumors until they've crashed and they're in the emergency, like in trauma. So I was like, oh, and he's like, you're incredibly lucky. And I remember saying to him, I'm not incredibly lucky. God numbers my days, and he's just not ready for me to be finished on this earth. It immediately brought to mind for me a song that has been so important to me for years now is It Is Well. There's a hymn, It Is Well, but this is actually Bethel's version of It Is Well. I immediately thought how it says in the song, far be it from me to not believe, even when my eyes can't see, that this mountain that's in front of me will be thrown into the midst of the sea. God has been throwing these mountains into the sea for me for many years, and I believe this is just another one of those times. No matter what, he is in control. We just need to let go and trust him, which is another one of my favorite parts. And it says, let go my soul and trust in him. The waves and wind still know his name. And I thought, wow, the Jesus that calmed the storm back then is the Jesus that calms my soul today. This is the peace I have. So I go in for surgery very soon, and so they will be removing the tumor. I'll be in the hospital. I'm not sure how long. They've said a few days. I only had just really one fear with the surgery when they kind of were talking about possible potential side effects and risks. And one is that the pituitary gland, your carotid arteries come over and they kind of come right around the pituitary, and there's a potential of them nicking the carotid artery and possibly causing a stroke on the table. And I remember thinking, oh, okay, it's possible that I would have difficulty with speech or difficulty being able to talk. And I thought, wow, I will have difficulty being able to sing. And then I thought, God has used me through worship for many years. And it has been a joy. It is truly my greatest joy to lead worship. But if something happens and I'm not able to lead worship, God's going to use me in a different area. The important thing is to be willing and saying, yes, Lord, you use me however you want to use me. And that has been my greatest prayer with this entire situation is use me, but use me and bring glory to you because he is worthy of praise.